So, with Scratch Band 4, the Funk Soul Brother here, and I want to talk about the Velma series. The Velma series, I watched it. First episode, I watched the first episode. Just to say how it is, the show's not good, okay? And I'll tell you why, okay? Like, the show has, like, why do you have to make the characters so unlikable? Like, you have Velma, who's so, like, who's so narcissistic and just rude and stuff like that. And then you have Fred, who is they pretty much made him this unmasculine blonde guy whose father is Frank Welker, he's played by Frank Welker, Scooby Doo, and yeah, every single character in the show is unrecognizable. Okay, they could have got me to voice Shaggy. They could have got me to voice him. Like, yeah, man. Like, that show really sucked. Like, it really blows, bro. Yeah, you know. The only character who is even remotely likable is Norval. That's it. Every other character is bad, and also, like, it's something up to this show that's just wrong to animate. Like, wrong. Like, here's the thing: you could animate Velma's stepmom, like, taking clothes off in front of her, but but that does not mean you should. Like, some things should not be animated. Some things should not do that. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. And then you have like, and she said two times that she's gonna kill people. She's like, oh yeah, like, there's a part where she is what that she is there's one part where she is accused of a murder, and then she says, "Oh yeah, here's the thing. I didn't murder Brenda, but here's the thing. I'm okay. If at that point I was so angry, and I could have been I could have been rid of them, like, or something like that." And there's other time where she says that if she was a white guy, she would get rid of everyone. She would get rid of everyone she would be able to get away with it. Like, who talks like that? Who is writing like that? And you have the guy, her father, talking about Fred's penis. Why? This writing makes no sense. The thing is, what's really a shame. What's really the biggest shame is that this show might have actually ruined the chances of a real rated R Scooby Doo series happening. Like, a Scooby Doo rated R series could work. We could have Scooby and Shaggy and Velma and Daphne and Fred be solving mysteries, and we can know we can know about these ghosts, like, what happened when they were alive and how they died and everything. And we could have characters die in the show, and then they come back as ghosts. They could kill off Shaggy and Scooby and they turn into ghosts. They have to find a way to make them go back into human. They could do a lot of different stuff. Scooby Doo is something that I could imagine being a rated R show, and it actually being done well. But to do that well, you have to make the characters likable, and you have to have a lot of effort, passion, and you actually have to have a lot of attention to detail to make that work. Just saying, like this show is not written well. You know what I mean? It's not written correctly. You're just not writing it correctly. So yeah, like so yeah, like, here's the thing. Okay, they just race swap the characters, and they were the same characters we knew and loved. That would be fine, actually. That'd be okay, actually. I'll be okay. I'll be cool with that, actually. I'll be cool with that. You know what I mean? But they're not the same characters we know. Like, oh, they're just unlikable. They're just mean-spirited, unlikable, and really, the show's vibe, it's not scary. It's just forced. It feels very forced. You know what I mean? It feels very forced. And honestly, I want to rated R Scooby Doo that's done well. And I'm saying right now, it could work. It could work. Okay, Velma did not work because they made the characters unlikable, but they can make a Scooby-Doo series and make it work. But they have to go back to the old formula, you know, Shaggy and Scooby and the gang solving mysteries. Just like it did many times before. Remember, it worked many times before. Scooby-Doo, where are you? What's new, Scooby-Doo? Scooby-Doo, Puppet Named Scooby-Doo, and Mystery Incorporated, and many, many others, including Scooby-Doo. Okay, Scooby-Doo Get a Clue didn't work, but the other ones didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, go back to that formula, but make it more interesting, and make it and if they make it rated R Scooby Doo after the Velma situation, it has to be a really great show. It has to be big and grand. It has to be Scooby Doo on Zombie Island kind of grand, like that kind of thing. Like, you know, it should be like a huge show, and it should be grand. Like, you know, it has to be very, very high quality. You know what I mean? So yeah, but go back to the old formula, please, and Scoob, canceling Scoob, I agree with. Canceling Scooby Doo, Scoob on Holiday Haunts, I agree with, because the original Scoob is not that good. I mean, I'm not saying if you like it, oh, you're stupid. No, if you like it, that's fine. You do you, but I don't like it. Like, you know, Scoob and Velma both changed what they didn't need to be changed. You know, like in terms of like the characters themselves. I mean, the characters themselves, like, you know, the characters, the way they act. With Velma, it's in terms of how the characters act, and for Scoob, it's the overall thing where it's like, you know, like they're not solving any mysteries. It's just this lack of focus. So yeah, like, you know, so yeah, you know, but they better do better next time, man. Like, really, they better do a better show next time, you know, because the Velma show is just too mean spirited. It's too mean spirited, and it's too just not right. If there's one word it could come up with, one word that describes the show, it's wrong. Like, it's really wrong, bruh. Like, for real, like the characters act badly, and then the script is not written. It's not written well. So yeah, you know. So yeah, that's why it's really bad. So yeah. So yeah. Okay. Here's a question: what if they remade the original Scooby Doo? Where are you? But they made it based on Velma. That'd be so horrible. That'd be so awful. They made it live action. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't. It's terrible. Yeah, you know, that's my thoughts on Velma. Like, you know, I watched it once, one episode, and I just didn't want to watch it again. So yeah, like, for real. It feels like a show from a different universe. You know, it feels like it stepped into a different universe as Scooby Doo, where if I feel like it feels like watching the show feels like going into a washing machine, or it feels like going into a washing machine slash vacuum cleaner, and then going through a portal to another dimension that you were not supposed to go to. That's what it feels like. It feels like the aliens from Alien Invaders came and transported me to a different universe where I'm not supposed to be at. That's what it feels like watching that show. Like, it's just too mean spirited. In the original series and the other cartoons, like they would have a friendship. Like, the characters would be friends, and they would treat each other good with respect, and they would solve mysteries. You know, and so the thing about the old show is not just the mysteries themselves, but also the friendship dynamics between the characters. You know, because like, you know, Shaggy loves Scooby, and they're really great friends. You know, it's fun to see because not only because of the mysteries, because of the friendship dynamic. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. The only way you can make a show worse than Velma is if you made a sequel to Scooby Doo. Where are you? Right, and it's at the end of the timeline, and Shaggy killed, pretty much, in the series, all of the characters are bickering, right? All the characters are bickering. It shows the beginning. It shows like a flashback, and then it goes to them. It just instantly goes to them breaking up, and then all of them just bicker, and they hate each other. They just hate each other. They don't explain why, they just hate each other, and then it's later explained Get this, that Shaggy killed Scooby for no reason. That's the only way you could possibly make it any worse. It's them bickering, and at the end of the series, they kill each other. They kill all each other, and they're all gone. That's the only way you can make it worse. So yeah, and this show should be preserved to because they need we need other cartoon creators to see the show to as an example of what not to do. So yeah, like really, we're in a terrible era of cartoons. I'm just saying.